Hello everyone, and welcome to this showcase of my collection of magic tricks. When I was much younger and my parents and I would go on vacation, I would always look for magic shops, and they were often kind enough to buy tricks for me. And so a few years ago I made a sorcerer or a magician roleplay for the channel, and I featured a few tricks on that video. However, I didn't give away any of the secrets. So today I'm going to demonstrate how to perform these tricks and show you my collection in its entirety, beginning with this illusion. And the magician could remove this ring, or indeed ask the audience for a ring, and assuming it fit into this small plastic enclosure, it would work. The trick would work. And we're going to first of all use the sword to engage the spring in the base, which is the secret, and then we can latch it there, just so. And we place this, well, we kind of have to line everything up because one of the tiny areas on the side is elevated a bit, and so this is the one that we need to apply pressure to. So it's going to be actuated by this little area of the shielding part of the prop. And so we place the ring inside, and I always noticed that it needed kind of a lot of pressure so that the spring will actually engage. So let's, yeah, it didn't seem to work. This was always a bother when I was trying to do the performance, because it's kind of a giveaway if you're really forcefully slamming this thing down onto it, but it's just necessary. Alright, I think it worked that time. And so now, using this sword, which the audience is also allowed to examine alongside the ring, we can act as if there's some pressure here, as if it's meeting the plastic, and then it's all part of the illusion. We can hear that it's locked back in place, and after we remove the sleeve, they have the complete illusion. And then, of course, everything can be examined once again by the audience members. So this was always one of my favorites. Alright, next we have the very iconic linking rings. And the secret of this is very simple. There's a break. And often, I noticed later in life that they would complete the illusion by adding a drop of welding there. And also the rings were often actually kind of much closer together without that pronounced gap. So the magician would just have to remember, or tell with a quick visual ID which one had the break. So I kind of got a bad set here. And it's sort of sad that they marketed this product among all the others when it's missing the addition of the illusion completing weld. Anyway, good trick overall. I think there may have been 4 rings. Anyway, most of these came with small, like, instruction manuals, which I've lost over the years. Okay, this trick is a very easy way to double your money because it transforms nickels into dimes, and the illusion secret is in this little copper ring, which I'm going to have to apply some quick downward pressure, more like slam this onto a table or something. Well, I'm glad it released. It's not going to be too loud. Anyway, now we've used the ring, and that's the entire purpose of it. And I never really got around to using any adhesive, but this is an actual piece of currency, a real nickel. And then this is the fake sleeve. So you can tell with age that the illusion is kind of gone. Anyway, these are also legal tender dimes, and they would fit here inside the base. And so with a quick examination, it would just look like we have a stack of nickels. And then using this, I'll just fit it over the top, apply some pressure so that it really takes hold, and we've transformed those nickels into dimes. And then assuming that the audience doesn't really forcefully, well, I guess shake this or manipulate it too much, it looks like it's a feat of magic. Alright, next we're going to have a look at this really nice trick, the Pentro penny. So here we have a plastic matchbox, and this is a real penny. It's worse for wear. I guess I could replace it with a shining penny. More importantly, it needs to be replaced with a penny that kind of looks like the fake penny, which is here. And this is a magnet. So we've got some matches here shielding that magnet, hiding it from the audience's view. And this penny is supposed to be a more or less a perfect match of this other one, because this one is not actually copper, it's a magnetic metal. So to perform the trick, we put the real penny there in the matchbook, or the matchbox I should say, and the fake penny we just use a bit of sleight of hand and just kind of show it off to the audience. And then we can also demonstrate that it's just a regular matchbook, but you don't want to open the drawer too much lest the audience sees the real penny there. And then the penny's disappeared, and we can open it. It's taking place on the bottom. When we open the sleeve, the magnet is moving the penny along, and it captures it in this little depression, as you can see. And now the penny has traveled inside and arrived on top of the matches. And of course, closing it, it's hidden there on the inside. So a really neat trick. Okay, next let's have a look at this trick, which is featuring dice. We have this tiny die, and I think originally, like maybe for storage purposes, you can just keep it inside of this little wand that came with it, and we hide it there on the inside. And using this bit of a toothpick, we just demonstrate that we're holding a regular die. And then we act like we're moving it from one hand to the next, like this. And we just move this hand away. Of course, no one would suspect that the die is stuck to this hand. And so it's sort of like giving the illusion. Oops. That the die has shrunk. So like this. The audience suspects, of course, that the larger die is still in this hand, but then with a magical wave of the wand we can see that it's transformed. Alright, now we have this really interesting money game. And I don't really know the mechanism of this trick at all, but it's unique and interesting. So this is a bit of ESP, and this is real currency. And all we need to do is choose one of the three coin types while the magician isn't looking. The audience would do this, and then they would close it up, and the audience member would then gasp when the magician was able to ID which coin was in the sleeve. And so here, if you'll notice, we have this small tail, and it stays the same when a dime is in there. And then somehow the nickel drops it completely, so we have a depression. And then if I remember correctly, the penny makes it flush. Yeah. So with a quick visual ID, the magician is easily able to tell. So assuming that the audience doesn't try to get clever and put multiple coins in there or otherwise mess it up. So a very unique mechanism. Do kind of wonder how that one works. So there is a little bit of magic left. Alright, moving on, we have just the iconic and conventional cups and balls trick. A mainstay of magic. Shops everywhere. And so the secret here is that there's always a ball hidden here, and through deft sleight of hand you can make it seem as if the balls are transitioning between the cups, but it all just sort of relies on having them between the cups, and there's a whole collection of tricks to use that, using that method. Next we have the Pickle Nickle. Someone's being very creative with naming these tricks. And we're going to be shrinking another item. Listen, I really like this turquoise and green. Once again, this is magnetic, and we just place this, what we think is a nickel, into someone's hand, and we have that telltale click. We can see that the nickel has shrunk as well as flipped over. And the secret, of course, is that this is not a real piece of currency at all. It's a magnetic facsimile. All right. And next, we have one of my favorite tricks because it was so easily pocketable and really didn't require any setup. I actually broke my older version of this wand, which was not clear plastic, it was black and a little wider, and I kind of liked it more. And the secret of this is you give the illusion that both sides of the wand have the colored designs on them, and it's just from doing like this sort of manipulation. And often you would do it like, quick enough where the audience really couldn't tell, and then you would do a quick sleight of hand, which just was, just flipping it around a bit, and then you could see that you transitioned it. There were various ways to do that. And then you could say, oh, look, now on both sides. I'm sort of giving it away a bit now. Normally this would be faster. I'd be moving it in a way where the audience wasn't exposed to the colorful jewels. But a really neat trick. I'm not sure exactly what this wand is called. And so just sort of that thing. Then we would transform it and demonstrate that now it's like yellow on both sides. And you can like rub it, and you would see that now it's colored on one side and all uniform color on the other. And then this is when you would present it to the audience, of course, because now the prop is just the prop. Now all the magic has taken place. Alright, now finally we have this unique trick, which I also found to be pretty interesting. And so I'm going to have to gather a bit of paper. Just a moment. Thanks for waiting. We're going to be penetrating these quarters. And these, of course, can be presented to the audience because they are normal legal tender currency. And the mechanism is a little tray that slides out. So here, once again, we have an indention on the side of the plastic, which is like the secret to the little sleeve that it's housing. And what would take place is we put the quarters in here, use a bit of paper, and then of course it seems that nothing is amiss. We would be able then to penetrate the quarters. You can see that my hand is covering up that evidence of the little tray. And it was really thoughtful design because as you remove the paper, you can kind of remove it like in a way that, I'll just demonstrate it this way. If you move the paper like while you're moving the small tray, like this, no one can tell that the tray is being inserted back into the prop, and then you can press this little button and that locks it in there, and now you have exposed, well, you can now display this and let the audience check it out. And you're not exposing the secret to the trick. You can kind of shake it and tell that there's something going on, but it could just be loose plastic. No, it's actually really well done. So anyway, thanks very much for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it.